We're good.
Welcome, guys. This is the Guardian Circle. We got Zulier. We got the Funk Doctor. We got a Kramer,
Yeah.
and we got Moochkey Burst.
Something Kamen Rider related. Yeah.
Common
I'm-
Rider. Couldn't
and I'm
do card
Kitty.
fight.
And we're gonna start off this podcast, which after today is gonna be a weekly thing. Not necessarily with these same people, but we will put out one every week. And today we're going to start off with talking about the Bermuda set. What is it called? Divas Festa? I keep calling it Fiesta.
That might as well be.
It's
But
not
the
Fiesta.
Divas Festa.
I didn't
Festa.
know.
oh, siesta. That's my bad.
Oh boy.
And that's already out in Japan. It comes out as of today, next Friday,
April
So it's
27th.
the 27th of
That's 2
April.
weeks.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm thinking it's a week later.
The hardest decision of Ash's life was whether or not to invest in that set while he was in Vietnam. Hardest decision.
So personally, despite playing a lot of Bermuda, I would not invest in this set. So, just off the bat, this set really hasn't done anything, unlike the other Bermuda sets.
Yeah, it had a couple tops here and there, but usually when you look at Japanese tops, they're really overrepresented when a new pack comes out. So we had some coral tops and we had some Ange tops, but Gear Chronicle and Dominate and Shahar are still the kings.
Yep.
And that's kind of the issue, is that Bermuda's supposed to change up the meta for like a while when it comes out, but it didn't.
Problem is that the meta is kind of in a solved state even before Bermuda stuff came out. So it's like if it would have made a splash, it would have made a splash immediately, and it would have continued on. But
Yeah.
nope.
There is good news, though, because if you're not counting Megado, if you're not counting Tirua or the Coral,
Yeah.
every single card is pre-ordered at $15 or less. So when this set comes out and you still want to build something for G format, this will still, I mean, it's nice and cheap, and the waifu tax isn't that bad this time.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, I don't think people are too happy about the Crown SPs.
I wasn't. Like,
compared to last time.
or even the time before that, or the time before that. Like we went legs, wedding, swimsuits, and now crowns.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the
Oh,
wedding,
come
but
on.
still.
Do you
I'll
think
leave the
that
crown.
people are just going to do this one for Megado?
Yeah,
Moegado?
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish I had
So,
a
I
good
mean-
image of that. Most of it's pornography.
Oh,
God, Ben, I mean, we're like R-rated at best. We can't just show that stuff.
Right, but sometimes we've got dreams, and monster girls are my thing.
So there isn't much to be said about it. So I think it's probably good just to start off with the next topic, which is
Hold on, I do have one card I do like.
yeah.
That I do feel like. Ellie has been my girl like through every set she's ever been in. And the G guard for Ellie, I think is notable enough for conversation. And is that she has a continuous Guardian Circle. This unit gets plus 10k shield for every face-up copy of herself, and Sentinel in the drop zone. And she has a Generation Break 2 Soul Blast 1. When this card is put into the G-Zone face-up, you can turn it face down for a Soul Blast. I just feel that it's probably one of the best G-Guards in the game right now, just on power.
Yeah, no, I think that was a great G guard to end with. I mean, especially with the new Perfect Guard, you can run 6 of. It's ridiculous
yeah.
amount of shield.
yeah, this thing gets crazier than Uller.
Oh yeah. The only Bermuda G guard is the one that calls things up into hand, that's any sort of better for it, just with utility. But even then, that's only with that specific Legion combo that all of a sudden just hits like 30k defense casually before guys was ever a thing.
That was that's hand in hand Leona, right?
I think so. Or yeah, I can't remember. Probably.
So we're gonna.
Stop licking your microphone.
So I don't know if anybody else has it up, but let's start with the new trial decks, specifically the Aichi one. So off the bat, I really do enjoy the new arts for Elaine, Blaster Blade, and Wingle. Have you guys seen those yet?
Oh, I just picked up the Elaine ones. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that Alfred early kind of looks like really simple for a boss monster, but yeah, I'm at least enjoying the fact that everything doesn't look like super simple. They're still willing to make some really good designs.
Okay.
Now there is the one gripe I do have is I wouldn't say they promised it, but they said that all the cards are exclusive to the trial deck. And then Galatine, Knight of Silence Galatine. It's a 10k vanilla in the start deck and the Aichi deck. All they did was change the art.
Hey, it's a different card.
Yeah, I mean, arguably.
Although I think giving Gallatin 10k shield, 10k base, and then doing something else with it. But it's still okay. I mean, I at least enjoy the other retrains that they've been doing so far, the few that we've seen.
Yeah, no, I am actually quite worried about the premium standard we're going to be having for several months.
Yeah, well, you look at, and we'll get to Tamer Akane later, but even if you look at like Knight Squire Allen, so it's a grade 1, which was in the base, the first trial deck, but in this new one, it's got an effect where when it's placed, you counterblast 1, you call a card with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, and if you do, you draw a card, and it gets plus 3k. So this is the new era. Nothing's GB restricted. Everything's going to be crazy early game. So this is just a straight plus 1.
Sorry, I got out. What the hell are we talking about now?
Let's start the first trial deck of these series.
I do like where it's going. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I'm just saying if every non-GB card in this new era is going to plus this hard premium standard, it's going to have a crazy early game.
And that's what I'm thinking. That's what's going to happen is that with the premium standard, Overlord and blasters are going to just be rampant.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas me and our good friend Virgil were thinking maybe we might see the return of Sanctuary Blaster, because Sanctuaries with all these 8k grade 1s with skills, they're going. It seems like it would be a great time to be playing Sanctuary Guard again.
Can't wait for those new Snoggles. They can't leave our, good snow dogs lacking. Crack-a-lacking. There we go.
It's just going to be crazy whenever, like, say, your opponent's at grade 3, you ride Alfred early, you get your Force Gift, you get a Blaster Blade, and then you get a Stride. And it's going to be nuts. I think at least with Standard Premium, first, even when more clans come out, I think that Royal Paladins are going to be on top for a while, unless they do something else crazy. But with what we're seeing with Kagero, I don't think so.
I'll say I think Kairo's going to top it constantly, but
Well,
now what?
I don't know, like, because the thing about the blaster stuff, why it'll be so good in premium, is that it works with the strides, but the Kagero stuff with its Vanguard focus kind of fights it a little bit.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. Now the one thing I do like about the new trial decks. Is that they all come with 4 perfect guards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas in original, you got a trial deck, you got to buy 4 just to get the, ace card.
Yep.
And with G, you had to buy 2 to get everything you need. Now you just buy 1.
Yeah.
And these started, well, usually before with the starter decks in the G era, you'd have to buy a minimum of 2 of them to even get a complete good deck to work with. These are going to be good right out of the box. This era is going to be a lot better for budget players.
I had a lot of fun back in when they were doing like 1 ace card per trial deck, when they had Link Joker and Infinite Zero with Dark Band Dragon, no perfects, but you basically like break ride, and then you could counterblast 1 Starvader or whatever to lock something at the back row. I actually topped with that like twice. It was stupid, but I bought 4 of the trial decks.
No PGs, what a deal.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right.
Rush, break ride.
Now, how do you guys feel about the trigger lineup for getting 4 heal, 4 draw, 8 crit?
The real thing is, are we sad stands are gone? I am.
I'm
Not really.
kind of. I don't think I've ever used a stand trigger.
What?
Well, and you really, in most decks you wouldn't unless it had an effect.
Right.
That's true.
You know what? I did in Harmony, but that was it. The only thing that I hate about being stuck with draw triggers is that they're objectively worse than front triggers, at least right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So it's like, okay, so if you're a Force clan or you're a Protect clan, you have to run 8 crit, 4 draw, and 4 heal unless they print 12 crit, which I would probably just do that every time, just because the just because the shield values, crit pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all we can really talk about for the Aichi deck, because we don't have Blaster Blade skill yet.
Did we ever talk about Alfred Early's skill?
We did. We hit on it a bit.
Yeah, we said it'd be crazy in premium, but we didn't say specifically what it does.
I'll cover it. Well, hold on.
Yeah, so
Alfred Early skill is when placed, pay 1 counterblast, call up to a blast from hand or soul to rear guard, and it gets 10k until end of turn. If you called, draw a card. So, I mean, I like the skill. I think it's going to be ridiculous with the current blaster support.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's great.
it's not that hard to get a Flash Blade into the soul. Most people just end up riding him.
And in premium standard, you have Wingo Brave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and plus, I saw someone with the Force Gift not being forced on the Vanguard. You can essentially have what's the flow goal crit? The flow goal crit.
Yeah.
Standing a Blaster Blade for like 29 pretty quickly, and that's hard to guard. Like twice.
It gets even worse when you use that. There's a grade 2, and I don't remember the name right now, but when you place it down, you can take an Alfred from your deck and write it down. So if you have that and grade 3, you have 2 force gifts in your turn.
Yeah. And
that's pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, that's why I think Alfred Blasters is gonna just ruin our days.
Mm-hmm.
So the next trial deck is the Toshiki Kai one, as you know, as we all would assume.
Woohoo.
So currently revealed, we have the whole list, but the only skills we have is Overlord. I think that's the starter. Lizard Runner Undu,
Yep, that's the starter.
Yep.
and all it has is Forerunner. It doesn't have Forerunner.
Yeah, it just has when you ride on top of it, you get a draw card.
Oh,
And the other one, Grime. So these are both the starters that were used in the manga. They're just more or less the same thing. Do you want to touch on what you think of just those Forerunners, or hoping we just see something else different?
I think we will get the Forerunner skill in the set itself.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe.
I mean, unless
What do
that's
you-
going to be a standard.
What do you think, Funk Doctor? Do you think this is a benefit, having the draw over the booster and maybe another skill?
I mean, you'd rather have the booster most of the time, but I think it'd be interesting if we never got Forerunner in Standard. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Just have
It
fun.
removes some complexity, but also the thing is that all shield values went up by about 5,000. So you pretty much took away, it's basically the same game state before, even if you don't have the booster. With some minor differences, yeah.
No, I actually see a use for this. So if all the starters are ride draw, then when you put cards back, you'd probably keep 2 grade 1s if you're going first.
Oh yeah, that makes your early game a little bit
Yeah.
cleaner.
So
Because you thin the deck for grade 3s. It would be harder for you to do that in Excel plans, just because you don't have that. They probably don't have good deck thinning.
yeah, I doubt they do. But unfortunately, we don't have any Excel reveals yet.
Yeah,
They've been pretty quiet
for
about the
that.
Nova Grapplers and OTT.
yeah. I bought a case split of OTT. I want to know what I'm getting into.
Right. But so far everybody does its job.
Mm-hmm.
OTT though is the hardest one to guess at what it does its job. I'm hoping they do the Silent Tom sort of shtick. But
From the translation of those 14 clans, that sounds like what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Where they basically said, "Oh, we're going to be able to get protect gifts to draw cards and block attacks for free, and then we'll have some offensive power." So
So the big thing I want to hit on is the Overlord himself.
Ooh.
I really enjoy how his skills are now
Once per turn.
not one. Well, there was no reason in the original one not to have it once per turn.
it's true.
Couldn't pay 3 counterblasts twice.
well, I mean, you can attack the 2 rear guards and go in for the Vanguard.
Yeah.
Clearly.
The word I'm looking for, they're cost effective. They're not, they're not something that you're gonna be like, I gotta win this turn or I screwed,
Yeah, this time around they're making it a little bit more fair for our effects, especially because I don't think we've had any confirmed countercharging abilities.
No.
It was very rare for the longest time. Only Nova Grappler had them for like the first year.
Yeah,
Me and Virgil were talking about that, where I was telling him that some of these cards only work in premium standard.
right.
Because right now, Royals are 2 counterblast heavy. Every skill needs pretty much a counterblast.
Yeah, you want to try and use that grade 1 early game. Congratulations. You only have like 3 more effects to use for the rest.
Yeah.
Of the game, at least right now.
Well, Royals never really had countercharge though.
Yeah.
Not in a big way.
Well, that's one interesting thing, that if they're going to make it fair by not having a lot of counter charging, you can either deny your opponent the early game by not giving them a lot of damage, or if you give them damage, they can do a lot of effects early game, but they can't do a lot later. It's just a trade-off.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went last time I went to KC, a friend did have a proxied out starter deck, the ones that you'll be getting if a Bushy Road dude comes over to your shop.
Mm-hmm.
For our listeners. And it was like I actually played around with strategies a bit, and attacking the rear guards is a viable strategy again. You know, like there's all kinds of things that you can do with it that are just, you know, a bit more less. I went for more to less, a bit less like reliant on strides and what strides do. I honestly think it'll be quite interesting once we move over to standard permanently.
Yeah, well, especially because so many decks have so many free pluses in the G era that it was really just a good idea to attack the rears of like control decks.
Mm.
But if you're not Royal Paladins right now, then yeah, you can pretty much attack the rears, and they don't have any good counterplay against that. They can put trigger effects on them.
Yeah. Man, to use free pluses. Draw 5 cards for a counterblast. Oh boy. That's Mutant Deity Overwhelm's ability, by the way. For every tap card, you can draw a card. So it's at least 3, generally.
I love it. But this kind of goes into the other thing, which is so the other card that we have revealed for this structure deck, Dragon Armored Knight. So that's a retreat version of the Grade 2. And all it is when it attacks a Vanguard, if the number of your opponent's rear guards is 3 or less, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of battle. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Because that doesn't seem like it does much compared to the Royal Paladin stuff, at least right now.
Well, hold on. I think, though, we should compare it to Dragonic Overlord here real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so just to see, like, because the argument is that, oh yeah, sure, but is that Royal Paladins are rearguard focused, but Kagero's Vanguard centric. Act Vanguard rearguard once per turn. I think that's a counterblast or a soul blast. I can't remember what the red one is. Continuous. Okay. Soul blast. This unit gets plus 10k until end of turn. Vanguard rearguard. On Vanguard, auto Vanguard once per turn. When this unit attacks hits, you may pay the cost. Counterblast 1 and discard 2 cards from hand. Stand this unit -1 drive until end of turn. So, unlike Alfred, which I put up earlier on here, which was counterblast, summon a blaster plus 10k, and you probably give the force to blaster too. You're swinging in with Dragonic Overlord, 33k attack, and then his rearguards are supposed to mop up the survivors, I guess, or do other special abilities. Like I know they have a Nahalem already released. I think it was Nahalem, which is act counterblast 2, kill a unit, which doesn't sound great in our meta, where it's like counterblast 1, kill 2 or something stupid like that because it's Dragonic Overlord. Or it doesn't hit Soul Blast 1, kill 2, or whatever .x does. It's a lot better than it sounds just because they're not getting stride. Their draws and resources are actually a lot thinner than they used to be.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. It's like, in a standard only, I believe that Counterblast 2 kill 1 is a bit too good. It's heavy on the resource, but it's not once per turn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only thing is about this, at least in standard, is Dragonic Overlord completely dies to protect gifts. But it's really good against everything else because, like you guys are saying, you don't plus enough to be able to deal with this every turn, guaranteed.
Yeah, no, it's but in our current premium standard meta, you would never run Nahalem.
It's true. Compared to the other Dragonic Overlord support that's out there, there's just no point. I would do say, like, with the Protect stuff, it wasn't guaranteed that I had a grade 3 with a gift symbol on it every turn. So,
Well, yeah,
and even
well,
that
it's like
that's for
The
everybody.
OTT might have significant amounts of draw power, though.
Sure.
That's the other thing.
But that's a different situation. Like, they probably need that to handle the offensive Kagero and other things like that, like keeping up the field
Right.
for their offense, so that we have a balanced meta and not a here's Dragonic Overlord, here's 50 other people playing Dragonic Overlord, here's the other 40 playing Royal Paladins, and then here's the short plus playing other clans.
Yeah, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, if it leads to the start, it's gonna really look like that. The only problem that I have with the Kagero structure deck is that hopefully retiring units will be really good, but they're kind of going, okay, we've got a very strong Vanguard, and if you can guard defensively, that's good. And if your deck doesn't mind your rears getting killed, then the rest of Kagero is pretty useless. At least they don't have enough power to back up anything else offensively, just other than the Vanguard. Maybe more cards that support the Vanguard will come out, and that would be what I would want to see.
I don't know. I played both Kagero and Royal Paladin, and I found it to be even. I'll say.
Well, these were just the demo decks, right? So
yeah,
those
Weren't
are
they
going to be very
effectless?
even. The demo decks.
Yeah, weren't they effectless?
no.
They had
A lot of them are pretty. I mean, they don't have very, game-breaking effects.
It's mostly light power, and then each of the clans had a special ability, like Nahalem, and then I think the Royal Paladin Counterblast 2 summoned something, or something, I can't remember. But it also gained a lot more power, but the Kagero one gave more power to the Vanguard, so on and so forth.
Right. And just the demo decks are still more simplistic and reduced in power. If we can see the full reveal of these trial decks and how they do against each other, it would probably be a lot different. Hopefully still even. But like I said, I just want to see more cards that help Dragonic Overlord out rather than kill units.
And I'm pretty sure we'll get that. I think what they're gonna do is make Overlord like he originally was an option, not a go-to like he is now. Like if you're to come up to some guy and say, "I want to play Kagero," how many of them would say, "Play Blade Master, play Seal Dragons,
I want
play
to play Waterfall Dragon."
yeah." But no, they'll
I
tell you,
remember
"Here's
that.
Overlord, X amount of X $100,"
Right.
Here's Overlord. Give me that child. It's not even my kid, so you don't have any emotional attachment, right? It's got SPs. Oh man, just one kid? Yeah, man.
Oh God. Okay. But that's kind of all we can talk about until we get more reveals.
For the trial decks.
Yeah, for the trial decks.
We do know kind of what's in there, and we know a Blaster Blade is there, but they're keeping Blaster Blade for the dramatic reveal combo, and I just kind of wish they get over it. Like I want to see actually more what a Sura Kaiser does, or Amaterasu does than Blaster Blade. He kills something and he gains power. Oh.
Would it be hilarious if Blaster Blade still had a Counterblast 2 to retire and it was just literally in a hollow?
Right.
Please.
So, moving on to the first set booster. It's Unite Team Q4. In the last video, the last podcast we did, we went over what it entails and all that. But today we got the reveals. We got a bunch of Royals and a few Kagero.
Wait, hold up real quick.
Yeah,
I think a new Nahalem, the Nahalem just got revealed. And it's completely different from the demo deck one.
Do you mind
Like,
tossing it
second?
in chat?
I don't
here it is.
have a translation yet, but it looks like Counterblast 1 plus 5,000 something.
Okay. Radical.
Do you have a link for the chat?
I got the picture.
Oh yeah, could you put it down? Breaking news in real time.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it around this time so we could get a reveal. I'm putting it in the Discord chat. So it's Counterblast 1 on rear guard, and I can't read the rest.
I
feel like
would
it's probably retiring.
assume, I would assume it just if retire unit if you do this unit.
Oh yeah, according to the guy who posted the image, it's on call, one place, CB1, select an opponent's rear guard in the back row, and retire.
That's pretty balanced.
That's fair, and also like we don't have forerunners anymore, so that doesn't really screw decks over.
Yeah, so you could play a light formation, and
can I say that art looks really sick?
Yeah,
I'm
pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping, like, if they do get a Blaster Blade and a Holem combo going, like it more like it used to be before we had like 610Ks for Gogoro. Like, I think it would be kind of interesting to see a kind of evolution. Blaster Dirk was pretty good, but he never had kind of enough of his own dynamic.
Yeah, and that's like my biggest excitement for V Series. I want a new Blaster Dark support. But at that point, we'd probably just switch to straight standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. And I think the back row is pretty fair just because of how the Royal Paladin units are working. The other big announcement is Akane, which I've been liking.
This card's... We have a new Benin and Mirren combo. Like...
me and I kind of want to call him our residential royal player. Again, our good friend Virgil. He really hates this card.
Does he really?
I mean, Pongal's not much to laugh at, but at the same time,
no, it's the fact that it really feels like a waste of a triple R. You know?
Oh. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, I mean, it probably should have been a double R, but it's still like an instant 4 of at least in standard.
Well, hold on, but like to what standard? Because it's like in a vacuum. It sounds pretty good to me because you get essentially a column and you get a power column to boot forever. And even if you mess it up or they snipe it with a Nahalem, because Pongal, of course, goes to the back row, you summon down another High Beast there and you still get the power boost. Like, I'm not going to justify the triple rare, all right? We still don't, like, because that means they're taking stuff out of OTT and Nova Grapplers. But, probably.
It seemed... Well... what we can assume is that there are 8 triple rares, right? So that means we'll probably get a grade 3 and a grade 2 for every single one.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, there's 8. I miscounted, my bad.
Oh, yeah, gosh, if there was like 6 or 5, that would have been fun.
Yeah, no, I would definitely the other triple R is definitely going to be Alfred.
Oh, or that...
Might be a VR.
The one in the horse. Would that be a Gancelot unit, or would that be an Alfred unit?
Probably Gancelot.
Oh, real quick, guys. When Pongal's skill is when placed on rear guard circle, if you have another unit, same column as this unit, soul charge 1. If you soul charge the trigger unit, this gets plus 5k.
It's good when it works.
Well, and that was also something we talked about. I was trying to figure out in what instance do you want to trigger into your soul?
Right.
You need soul fast.
Well, I mean, but the trigger specifically. There's
the only problem that I have with the setup of this is, so say you call Akane and you call Pongal from your deck. If you get the 3k boost, it's a total of 21k. If you get the trigger, it's 26k. So it's a 26k lane. If you're going up against a grade 3, you still defend that with 1 crit. But if you don't hit it, you can defend it with a 10k. So that's just the difference of, am I dropping a grade 1 or a crit for this column? Not counting force gifts and triggers and.
So,
And I would give that column a force gift. Like,
definitely.
Oh yeah, you definitely have it on your rear.
yeah.
So the next one down the list is Marin. Marin was one I came to mind when I said not everything is good. Premium standard.
Somebody tell me what he does.
So it's once per turn. When your other rearguard is placed in the same column, you can pay the cost of Counterblast 1, you draw a card, and Marin gets 3k. She's a grade 1, 11k. Yeah, grade 1 8k, that goes to 11.
Compared to that grade 1 in the starter deck, it's just not as good.
And that, yeah, it's
I do like the card draw.
Yeah, well, both of those grade.
They both get card draws.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Wait,
I
which
think
grade 1 are we thinking of?
The grade 1 that got revealed in the structure deck, where you call him down, you counterblast, you call a unit from your hand, you draw a card, and get 3k.
Right,
So
right.
it's pretty much the same thing,
Oh,
except
yeah.
you have to trigger it by calling the rear guard. Actually, no, they seem kind of interchangeable. Actually,
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would still stick with Alan, but
Yeah.
he comes in the trial deck, and I don't have to pay for him.
exactly.
Then I think after that we got Morgana. Morgana's.
Oh yeah,
Right.
the English event reveal.
And then like 2 days later, the Japanese got it revealed. Oh, they need to get their shit
Yeah.
together.
I love her art.
I do love Morgana's art and skill. Her skill is when she attacks a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, and she gets 3k for each grade your Vanguard has. So if it's a grade 3 plus 9,000 power. If we're in standard premium, 12,000 power because you're probably stridden.
Base 20,000 and you're striding.
Yeah, and this is the card that made me think Sanctuary Guard might be a thing temporarily.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like the fact that
Plus
you can
32.
conserve cards early game. Like, say if your opponent's at a grade 2 10k, you could just throw this down and you'll get at least 3 to 6k.
And it also justifies the
conserve
Pongo
card
skill.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um,
Just like Soul Charge 1, your Morgana is like,
But no, I think that Morgana's a card that's probably going to be around for a while. She just seems too good for the early V series.
I don't know.
I'm kind of sad that you can't get its skill when it boosts, though.
Yeah, no,
That'd be too strong.
It has
That'd
to,
be way too strong.
Yeah, it would be too strong. It would definitely stick around.
Yeah. Let's see. Then we already went over Pongal.
We can look over Mirror Biru before we do the.
Yeah, I'll just go
Power
Biru.
This card sucks.
I think I kind of like it. It's a 12k. It's a 12k booster, and it doesn't really cost you anything besides as long as you have a Vanguard.
Right.
I mean, it's just a boosted 10k booster for the Vanguard, I guess.
Yeah. If it ends up like we're running Allens and PGs and stuff, and we have room for 1 or 2 of these, then yeah, it could still be good.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully, we made a card like this in Kagura.
hopefully we do. I think we do.
Oh.
I think it's a Gojo instead of the rest draw thing. He has 1 boosting, getting power if you have more rear guards.
Oh, plus 3k, yeah.
So let's see. After that, we have 3 Kagura reveals. Shuriken, which is just pretty much the same as the original. 1 written over, pay cost, draw a card.
Well, it gets the card draw. That's what makes it so much better. And it also can basically turn Dragonic Overlord into a turn where, you don't have a perfect card? I guess I'm winning the game now.
Yeah.
Did it So there was an earlier version of this card in the game. Could it also not attack as a Vanguard?
Yeah.
It had restraint, and
Was that worth it before? Did it feel like it was?
not really.
You
had
could,
Cruel Dragon. Though.
yeah. Like the Cruel Dragon combo, like Funk
That was the
Doctor
only
said.
way I think it got played ever.
The only problem is like before, at least in before G format, like 10K was a good defensive base to be on. But now all the grade 2s are 10K, so you can't attack with your Vanguard, so you don't get the drive check, and your opponent can just fill up their front row and attack. So it's a little tough.
Well, like the thing is though, it's with an eye to basically swing with a 38k Overlord, because its proper skill is when it's ridden by a grade 3, cost Counterblast 1, draw a card, one of your Vanguards get plus 5k and a crit till end of turn. And like I said with Dragon,
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess this is like the Vanguard support I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think this card's good for now, but once we start getting more reveals, it'll probably look a little less good.
Yeah, that restraint's kind of tough though.
Yeah.
It's only restraint on Vanguard.
Yeah.
So, whereas I think the other one was restraint on every circle.
I can't remember.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
So yeah, you'd want to put him on Vanguard so you can get his skill.
I do like
So,
the idea of putting his.
If you play it right, your Dragonic Overlord could be at 50k. Am I calculating this right?
So 13 plus your Force Gift, and then you Soul Blast. So you're
If
at
Gojo
30.
has the same,
that gets you to 38. Gojo gets you to 41. So you'd be at 49,000.
Yeah, so you'd be pretty close. They'd pretty much it'd be at a perfect guard or take it thing.
And
You
Stricken.
still get to restand.
Yeah.
That's strong.
The old Stricken, by the way, did have a skill where it got plus 5k if it was attacked, if the attacker wasn't being boosted. So that's
It was a it was a
it had
defensive
something.
play.
Yeah. So it did have some defense to it, but it's even then. Even then. No thank you.
Yeah.
No thank you.
So the next one we got is Vortex Dragon. So the original one of this was the Mega Blast, where it was like
Mega Blast.
5. Yeah,
Kill 3.
I thought it was kill the whole field.
It was kill the whole field.
Was it?
No, he's right. It's kill 3.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
Yeah, so it was like.
So worth it.
But
Entire game.
now his skill on Vanguard is Counterblast 2. Choose one of your rear guards and retire it.
I do like the art.
One of your opponent's rear guards. I have to correct that. If the number of cards in your damage zone is 5, discard all cards from your hand and retire all your opponent's rear guards. So he's a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't say May. Seems really bad. You just have to discard your hand.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't. Shit.
Oh, you just even if their field's empty. The only thing I see about this card, and I'm saying like the limit break 5 and discarding your hand all sucks, but this card does decently screw over Excel decks if they can't make cards back, but you still have no cards in your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. It's a last-ditch effort. It's
and also I mentioned this card has no gift.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's what
Does
we...
it have a gift?
Yeah, we found out that not all grade 3s have gifts.
Yeah.
We did cover the when your opponent's rear guard is retired, he gets plus 5k, right?
Yeah, so
Okay,
he gets really strong.
I mean,
8,000.
No cards in it.
But max field.
But again, you have no hand. If he perfs this one attack, you're done.
Well, no, well, I mean, it's only retire your opponent's rear guards. You might have a field.
Yeah,
or
you
at
might
least
have
attackers.
A field, but
Yeah,
Well-
but if you have at least like 4 cards in your hand, 5 cards, you'll probably be okay.
If I was playing Dragonic Overlord, this would be my alternate grade 3.
I would definitely tech this. I would
Mm.
want to at least run more stuff with gifts, but I would definitely put this in.
I think their rear guard ability is actually not too bad.
no, I think your guard ability is good, but
Oh yeah, that's the reason why. Like a good like secondary grade 3 should have a rear guard ability that powers it up and a Vanguard ability, in my opinion.
Yeah, they figured that out halfway through the G era.
Man,
So what the last one?
It's
So-
pretty all right though. Says screw you to Nova Grapplers.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So that's all the reveals we got as of today for set 1. But we
Hold on.
did.
Oh,
There's
spillover.
Spillover
Dragon.
Dragon.
Spillover Dragon.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that guy. I don't know
It's
why I
okay.
like him.
It's okay. It sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
It does a little bit though, just a little.
Yeah, what was that damn card that we got in
It
the
was-
early game? Amber
was-
Clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that card. Except you gotta put it into soul.
So this one is just as a rear guard at the end of the battle that it was boosted and it attacked a Vanguard. You have to counterblast 1 and put the unit into your soul, and then you choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less rear guards and retire it. So it's a 1-for-1.
I like it, but it's only because Overlord requires that soul blast, so
Yep.
it's basically just
Yeah.
paying for Overlord.
I think that they're going the direction of if you want to retire front rows, you have to pay a pretty big cost for it,
Yeah,
which is fine.
that's what we call balancing.
Mhm.
Balance.
Whereas I think they're gonna throw that out with the next set we were gonna give a brief talk about.
The Avatar,
extra-
master of the 4 clans.
The first V extra booster, the Destructive Roar.
Oh yeah.
This supports Tachikaze, Spike Bros, and Mega Colony
Oh yeah.
with the confirmed reprints of Overwhelm, Dirty Picaro, and Gluttony Dogma.
We really needed that Dirty Picaro reprint. I'm just going to throw that.
You're right.
I mean, the Gluttony Dogma reprint though is what's making me chuckle, because that good feeling when you've gotten rid of all your dogmas except the ones you don't need. It's like,
Same.
I just sold a Gaia deck for like ridiculous amounts.
Not bad.
Because I was like, why are you people paying this much on dogmas? They're being reprinted.
How much did they do each on them?
Well, I sold a whole Gaia deck for about 400.
Oh wow.
Shit.
Well, it had
Yeah.
SPs.
Yeah.
Well, I sold a play. Well, I didn't sell a Gaia deck, but I sold a playset of dogmas for, and this was before. This was like a couple months ago at
Yeah.
160, I think.
Yeah, that's about the time I sold mine too.
Yeah.
They were about 160.
Dogma's worth it though. Like it's one of those cards that just never gets old. I only run 2, but that's just because I use Dark Rex. So it's hilarious.
It's good, and also Overwhelm. I mean, at its worst, Overwhelm was what, $80, Ben? Like,
Oh yeah.
No,
It was-
because I'm trying to sell a Darkface deck, and Overwhelm dropped down to 50.
oh, I'm not saying like
Merely
now,
50.
but like when it was at its highest price.
No, yeah,
it was
80.
really
Oh.
crazy.
No, it hit 90. The Mega Colony hype, like, it goes in cycles, but the problem with Mega Colony hype is that nobody knows how to play the deck. So they always sell it off. But basically, here's how it went. Everything went to like 90. Obturandus SGRs were 130. All kinds of Darkface
I remember
SPs
that.
were like 90. It was at their height. It was really stupid. But then, like, as soon as the hype died down, everyone realized that they didn't want to take the time to play the deck. They didn't want to spend all the blah blah to make sure it really worked. And then,
Right.
all of a sudden, the market's flooded with everything that they didn't want anymore.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was only worth it if you got a good deal buying it or selling it. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
What
I
else?
got great deals selling it.
yeah, I managed to. Yeah, it's the funny thing is, I think I bought it, the whole thing, including Zoa, for like 380, 400, and then I sold it for like that much. And
Nice.
I won some prize. I won some prize support at locals
Nice.
using it too. So I'm like, oh sweet, I made money.
I
But
remember
no
that
one
fight.
else is moving it. No one else is moving it.
Yeah.
And all the people who are like me and established Mega Colony players are like, noobs, we knew you weren't gonna last. Get out of here. This is a
I think what, it
hostile
took,
work
like,
environment.
What, 1 week for people to put sale posts back up for that deck?
Right?
Yeah,
It's
it was really funny.
it's not as bad as the Dominate sales post, where it was like selling Dominate for Aquaforce deck and like Maelstrom deck, and then it's like, I want to buy Dominate deck.
Before Renee.
I know.
Oh my god.
But right now, the SGR for Obtrandus is 45, and the GR is 45. Like,
Oh my god.
the prices have dropped, and they're about equal. Don't be a fool. You know.
Got to spend for that foiling. Wow, those are low.
And the SP Dark Faces are down to 40. Though, to be fair, that's up from like 15 where they started, where I bought my complete playset.
Yeah. So with the Destructive Roar, we have confirmed cards, but no effect reveals. We got Gigarex, General Seyfried. I have a hard time saying Siegfried.
Siegfried.
We got Juggernaut Maximum, and then Machining Stag Beetle and Spark Hercules. So I believe those are both limit break cards. So I'm really interested to see what they do.
I'm not. I almost don't want them to go machining, not because the premium format will be absolute cancer. I guarantee it. But that the abilities were all lackluster. Stag Beetle was decent, but he was like on ride, call 2 machining out from Soul tapped, and it gains the power of the things you called. So it basically becomes a 26k first round. But it was never in a position to kill anyone ever, unless you really rushed early game. Machining Spark Hercules was Lord, then Counterblast 2, plus 10k, plus... Did it get a crit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it got a crit, and then it stunned one thing.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Mega Colony this time around, is like, we kind of already configure what Tachikaze and Spike Brothers are going to do, but they have a chance with Mega Colony.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
make it a lot better this time around.
There's a big X factor with Mega Colony, because, to be frank, they kind of got good with in the G era, where they were like, stun for cheap, a lot for cheap. But then machinings like call things from Soul, and machinings can start rushing.
Yeah.
Same time.
And they got some really powerful strides, and their mechanic is in there pretty good, but it's very complicated, and it doesn't do what it needs to do to top compared to Gridora or even OG Darkface.
So I guess the only way I can see them going, really wrong with machining is focusing on that, calling from Soul like the machinings currently do.
I'm hoping, and this sounds weird, but I'm hoping there's a Cyclomatooth or something like that, a generic Mega Colony that I can play, because I think it's too early to be focusing on archetypes. Yeah. So I think these machines will be like they were with the Clan Booster.
There'll be some machining boss monsters, but everything else will kind of sound generic. Or
yeah.
What was it? Yeah. I guess what they were saying before is they were saying Mega Colony gets Protect, and they will still stun rears, so they'll probably more focus on that. I just don't know what offensively they're going to get, but I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always interesting, especially since they finally got their heads out of their butt and realized that Mega Colony can handle some decent offensive support. But,
I think if the other cards that have already been revealed are any indicator, I think Mega Colony will probably not be as cheap to, resource-wise as it is now, but it will be a lot cheaper than it was.
I'm hoping at the very least it'll be like the control deck to beat.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it will. We definitely know the Mercenary King will play it unless he really hates what they do with it.
Oh, basically, like it's like a lot of this stuff I'm liking, but the thing is that I'm kind of like evolving as a person as you tend to do as you get older. So if Mega Colony is unfun to play or use, or it's super frustrating, because remember, I fought through like when the Mega Colony deck was Giraffa and Martial Arts Mutant Master Beetle put together, and it was basically which one you ride and which one you use the ability of only once and for too much.
Yeah.
So it's if they do something that quite frankly is either painful or it's super generic or it just isn't fun. Like it's gonna be like, see ya guys, and then you see me like waving back over the clouds like haha, and then it's like the title card goes in memorandum of the Mercenary King or something. You know what I'm going for. Classic anime
I
tropes.
basically say the same thing but about Link Jokers.
Yeah. And there's not even another card game,
So,
yeah.
the last topic we're going to hit on before, and we're not going to hit on too much since there still isn't that much info, is the reboot anime. And just kind of, talking about what
I don't have any
the characters and what they use. Because I guess they included one new character that you wouldn't know if you didn't read the manga.
The Mega Colony guy?
Yeah. And then they made some changes to what people use. So the first one is like Miwa. In the original series, Miwa used Kagero, like Kai did, but eventually switched to Seal Dragons. In the new one, he'll be playing Nova Grappler, but I guess a different variation than Kamui.
I'm going to say that Miwa was the best friend character in all of card gaming anime done.
Oh no, you're forgetting Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, I remember him. And he was a punk.
Punk ass bitch.
That's right.
And I guess the next change is Kyo.
Oh, well, one more thing about Miwa. He was the one who played Cat Butler.
Yeah.
You're right.
So hopefully, he was playing Cat Butler and Miss Splendor. That was.
I'm really hoping we get that Cat Butler reprint, but
Yeah,
that's
same.
only because I really like Risers and Nova Grappler in general.
Yeah, I am looking forward to Perfect Riser. I think that'll be a really fun card if it's anything like the original.
So the next guy is Kyo. I guess in the original series, even though he's hopped, from clan to clan, trying to get good.
I love that man.
This time he's focusing on Murakumo.
Not Spike Brothers?
No, he's not the Spike Bro guy this time.
It's weird.
Because based on the manga, he started out with Nubatama, but for convenience reasons, they just turned into Murakumo. And then Nagisa, and then they have mystery ones. Like, we don't know what Nagisa is going to use, but I guess there's a theory that Nagisa is going to be playing Gear Chronicle.
Why? Does she have like a gear motif? They aren't exactly subtle with these things.
I have a picture of her in a side character post, but she doesn't look any different than she did in the original series.
I mean, she's probably. It would make sense if she's using a clan that's coming out at the time, so it can only be like Aqua Force, Dimension Police, or Grand Blue.
Well, that's the thing, though.
It also could be Novas too, but
could be an offset of Novas, maybe. Not an offset it is in public, but an off build.
So I don't know where the Gear Chronicle theory stems from. I haven't heard any. I haven't heard anybody talking about it after, one day they kind of revealed, Nagisa plays card games,
Right.
Still plays card games, still drugs Kamui when he's not looking. Still props him up back where he was so he doesn't notice the missed time.
So it's also revealed that Shin, the shop owner, will play card games as well. Again, mystery. he probably is Murakumo or Nubatama. That's, from his previous character.
I wouldn't mind a non-dominate Nubatama.
I don't know. I mean, I've enjoyed Nubatama since the early game, but it didn't really get that useful to dominate. It was annoying, no doubt.
Well, that was the hand discard. Like, it was really crazy at the start of the game, but then they're like, "No, we don't want to keep on going."
Well, yeah.
I'm actually considering adding in those grade zeros. That's like when you guard with it, counterblast 1, make him discard a card. It's
Yeah.
great.
So Emmy.
There's no
Bermuda.
bottom limit.
So I guess some other ones they announced that aren't in the manga but are going to be the anime is Goki, the original Grand Blue player who really enjoyed Night Mist. Kenji, so almost no doubt he'll be the DP player.
Oh, I
And
hope
then-
he comes back.
And then Leon's been confirmed, and we can almost guarantee he's the Aquaforce player.
Yeah,
It's got
little
an
boy Leon.
Aquaforce trial deck coming out. Oh, by the way, guys, August is Aquaforce trial deck, Aquaforce Grand Blue and Dimension Police set. Then there's a September is Shadow Paladin trial deck, Shadow Paladin Dark Irregulars Pale Moon Murakumo set.
Yeah,
that's
so-
what we're working on, by the way.
I'll say one of our local players, sorry, my voice broke for a second, had a theory that set 1's called Unite Team Q4. So we think that the Shadow, Pale Moon, Darker Reg set will be something along the lines of like dominate or some,
Attack
some really
Foo
strong
Fighters.
term. Yeah, Foo Fighters or AL4, whatever they call
Asteroid.
it. Team Asteroid.
Because Foo Fighters is copyrighted.
It
Who
is
would've
here.
thought? Man,
But I mean, that's pretty much all we got on the anime. We have an opening, but I'm not gonna have us play it. They can just wait.
I don't care about the openings or anything like that. Like, I haven't actually watched the series in a year, at least. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
So
Hopefully,
I'll be tuning in though. I like
I'll
it.
say, yeah, I'll watch it, but that's
Yeah.
because
OLM puts in work.
we're gonna. I'm sure Ash is gonna want me to watch it so that we can talk about like developments and crap.
well, there's a really good Mother's Basement about card game anime, and then he basically says, okay, you know who does the card game anime best? Cardfight Vanguard's first season. Because they make it about like actual realistic problems. He needs to pull good cards, so he pulls a Ganslot when he needs it from a pack. He needs this, he needs that, he needs to meet people, he needs to get better. Like, I want that. I don't
Ironically
care.
about that, I thought the Psyqualia storyline was the best part about that season.
Oh yeah, but that's fine. That's just playing the game
I'll still go
slightly
with
better
Central
than everyone else.
So the anime is supposed to air simultaneously, dubbed and subbed.
Oh.
Yeah, they
starting
promise that a lot with other things. I don't believe it until it happens.
Well, they do have Buddy Fight. They were doing it for a while with Vanguard, but then they stopped because I guess getting the dubbed voice actors together was a pain in the ass.
Well, normally if Yu-Gi-Oh has anything to go off of, if the new thing's coming out, they'll just cut it a bit short to save resources.
Yeah. So that starts the 5th of next month, May. Like I said, I doubt it'll be too close to the manga, but not that far either. But I mean, that's all we got for today.
Yeah.
It's
All
been
right.
Kitty, Zulier, Funk Doctor, a Kramer, and Muteki Burst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week with reveals for the week, any other news and whatnot.
I really hope they do a new art on the Riser girl. that heel. I've got the image of it up.
I
but
do
it's
too.
Like, it's like, yeah.
I do too.
With the
So-
armpit, with the mechanical armpit. That's the thing. It's like, shout out to Maxim
God.
Salim. If you want a good mat, you need to show some armpit, man. Who gives a darn about the bra or whatever?
No, I don't. I don't want to.
Anyway,
I don't want to get it. I don't want to get into on video why I don't like that blaster one you made it with.
Oh no, it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's not as good as his other ones at all. It's not as good as any IYG ones. Oh sure,
that
give
was
it-
that wasn't the voted for one. That was the Luard one.
I'm not sure. I know the Luard one is basically a riff on the IYG one without Camille, like just Femme Luard, and it's like okay,
Imitations, flattery, it's okay.
yeah, it's alright. And this isn't. I'm not throwing shade here. I'm just.
No, I mean, to be fair, he does charge like $60 a mat. So
Is it like 15 shipping or something?
no, it's just that like whenever you go to the solid to. I don't know what his website is actually. I know it's like
0 damage.
yeah. When you go there,
And I've seen $35 ones though.
I mean,
yeah,
he does sales quite often, but it's still at least $10 or $20 more expensive than anything IYG tends to put out in person. Probably like $5 or $10 more expensive than anything we put on the store.
Yeah, but IYG should really start making special sleeves.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that.
I was talking to Ash about that. And it's just like it's hard to find someone who does small sized for a good price.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was only kidding.
The size of the
it's-
card isn't cards aren't changing, are they?
No,
That's
No.
what I thought. Yeah.
but yeah, no, we definitely do like IYG merchandise, coasters, butt plugs, shit like that.
It's the one thing I needed in my life,
IYG butt plug.
right? And then like the first review is like 1 star. When will they make a something to satisfy me?
I'm not part of this conversation for me.
Damn it. Okay, guys, have a good day. We'll see you all next week.
Quality
See you later.
conversations.
Later.
See you guys.
Yeah.